What is up YouTube, it's Kingfisher745, and welcome back to the All Hail the King segment from Podcasts Past. Now for many of you this is an all new series, but it actually debuted on my second channel, where we already have 8 episodes. I decided to bring it over to my main channel and we're going to resume it here. Also there is a playlist so you can watch all the episodes if you'd like. Now first of all, let me say the main point of this is to allow you to listen to past podcast segments that you may have missed, or otherwise wouldn't have access to. I still urge you to check out all the current podcasts at www.thehelicarrier.com, and also check us out at blogtalkradio.com/FromTheHelicarrier. Then just to go into a little bit more detail, the second reason I started this playlist was to revisit old podcast segment ideas. So just to further explain, what each video in this series will contain is a short introduction to an older podcast segment, but featuring all new PvP video. So during the entire video we'll be checking out the old PvP setup or team that the original podcast segment first explained. Some of these ideas are very usable, but in this case, there have been some major changes. So this segment is actually a perfect example of how teams may have become less useful after changes. The original premise for this one was that Captain Marvel could provide rally. This would allow a buff action to become a quick action. Well, with the changes to quick actions, this isn't as great as it once was. Especially when it comes to this team. You see, Angel already has a quick action in his level 2 Rapture. Back when this segment first aired, that wasn't a problem. You could have multiple quick actions. We now know that that has changed. So originally, that was the first benefit, we could have multiple buff actions. And Angel's level 1 was a buff ability. That's no longer the case, they've dropped buff from that ability. It's now only a melee slashing attack. That kind of implodes what really made this team special. But hey, that's part of the reason we're going back and checking out what is and isn't still viable. I actually think this case points out what's really special about this series. And so with this setup, I hope that you understand it, and I really hope you enjoy it. The second part of this video, as with every episode in this series, is going to feature the original audio from the podcast segment. So for some of you, you've already heard it, but it was quite some time ago. And for many of you, it's going to be brand new. So here it goes. The original audio. What's going on everybody? It's the Kingfisher745 coming at you with a brand new All Hail the King, only on the From the Helicarrier podcast. Today I'm going to speak with you about a pretty interesting team up. This team up is going to feature Captain Marvel and Modern Angel. Now first of all, you may have to get used to managing these two together, because they do have some overlapping abilities. Mainly the fact that they both have Lead the Charge. Now what Lead the Charge does is it causes the character to lose a turn next round, and then their allies gain a turn next round. This is a fantastic option and you will be using it, but you can't just spam it. So if you were thinking that's where I was going with this team up, then you would be wrong. Still, before I get to the main point of this team, there are plenty of things you can do with Follow the Lead. If you use Angel's Rapture, which is usually the option I go with, then you can also use Kree Speed. If you use Captain Marvel's Kree Strike, you end up with Kree Speed, so she'll take an extra action after a full round. You can stack this with Follow the Lead, so your Captain Marvel could take 3 actions in 1 round. That's just one benefit. You can also time it to where Captain Marvel can use her Lead the Charge and give Angel an extra turn. But like I said, you can't spam these Lead the Charge abilities, because you'll actually just end up overwriting Follow the Lead, which basically is just going to reset it. I also think if you just keep spamming Lead the Charge, you'll probably end up in the Matrix, or maybe in an Inception. Either way it's bad. This is pretty difficult to explain and I will try to do it in a video, but this is why I alluded to the fact that you'll probably need some time with this team up for yourself. It may take some getting used to. Thankfully, the actual reason for this team up is a lot easier to understand. So let's start with Captain Marvel. I recommend using her as a tactician and using the quick and powered ISO 8. This will allow her to use Absorb Energy as a quick action and so she's actually going to absorb energy attacks. This includes Havoc's Plasma Wave. In the video, you'll see her not only take a fully charged Plasma Wave, she'll also be healed by it. By the way, she's not just a Havoc hater. She can also stop some attacks from Magneto, Cable, or anyone else with energy attacks. So far so good, right? But what does she have to do with Angel, other than the fact that they both have lead the charge? Well, her level 1 Photon Blast grants all your allies Rally. Rally causes the next buff action to become a quick action. So yeah, we've known this is going to make a lot of characters excellent team-ups with her. And the list can contain everyone from Heimdall to Wonder Man, many protectors, but then it can extend to characters with heals, or those like Scarlet Witch, or even Damon Hellstrom with Cloaked in Shadows. You may have even thought to use her with Angel, but the default Modern Angel costume is actually pretty interesting. He not only has that buff heal at level 9, he's a very rare specimen because his level 1 is actually an attack, which counts as a buff. Absolution is a melee slashing buff. It grants Rising Up to all allies, meaning they have a chance to gain Focused, Fortified, Agile, or Strengthened. Now, since this ability counts as a buff, it becomes a quick action with Rally. What this means is, with Angel, you can use his Rapture ability, then Absolution twice on one turn. Then there are 2 additional things that make this even better. First, just the sheer fact that Absolution has Rising Up. That means you can give yourself Strengthened, which in turn makes that second attack do more damage. But that's not all. He also has a new Augmented ISO 8, the Penitent Augmented ISO 8, which drops in Season 2, Chapter 4, Mission 4. This AISO causes Absolution to gain Finest Hour, so it deals increased damage when Angel has Strengthened, Focused, Fortified, or Agile. Because of this AISO and the fact that he gets to use Absolution twice in a row, Angel can boost his own second hit damage quite a bit, causing this healing buff character to have knockout potential in one round. That's pretty crazy, and trust me, that damage can get vicious. If you add in the Neurotrope, you can actually help him gain those Finest Hour buffs even faster. Oh, and if you weren't familiar with Angel's Empowered ISO 8 setup, he can use the Inspiring Empowered ISO 8. This grants morale boost. And secondly, he can use Sympathetic Empowered ISO 8. This grants Generosity. Buff abilities gain a small HP boost. Well, if you're using 3 in one turn, for me that equates to about 15,000 HP back. That's just another reason to love these two together. So that's essentially the team up that I wanted to bring to your attention, and I will be posting a video of it. Make sure to check out the video segment of All Hail the King. I will try to release it Wednesday night, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. And hopefully new Special Operations 17 videos as well. Thank you all for listening, and I'll throw it back to the hosts.